So hey folks, and welcome back to the channel. On today's video we're going to be looking at the 2022 MT10 and the 2022 MT10SP. What we're going to do first is we're going to have a look through the Yamaha promo videos that they've put out recently, and then what we're going to do, we're going to go through the old MT10 and SP and just look at the differences between both bikes. So at the end of the video I'm going to give you my final thoughts on what I think about the updates for 2022. Is it enough? Stick around, stay tuned to find out. Okay, so what we're going to do now is have a look at the Yamaha intro to the SP version. On the SP you get electronic Öhlins 2.0 suspension and a different colour scheme, and that seems to be the only difference. You do get a belly pan included on the SP version. So let's have a look at the intro and then we'll move on to my final thoughts. So my final thoughts on the new 2022 Yamaha MT10 and SP versions. Now, having owned a 2017 SP since brand new in I think it was October 2017 when I purchased that bike, so a little over 3 years. Along the way there's been one recall, which was the front brake switch, and that gets resolved from Yamaha, so no issues whatsoever. Build quality along the way has been very good on the bike. I think that the changes to the standard edition MT10 with the colour TFT dash is a welcome replacement to the old dash. I think a lot of people will be happy about that. The 6-axis IMU, the new ride-by-wire throttle is meant to be better. Obviously I've not tested it yet. I hope to be riding one in the new year so I can do a back-to-back comparison. The bike comes now with a up and down quick shifter. The styling, start with the rear first. So the rear looks a little bit different than the older version, and obviously you've not got those silly little flaps that are on top that kept getting kicked off by feet when you throw your leg over. So that's a welcome replacement on the rear. The front styling with the headlight, I think there's something missing. On the old version you had a like a little aerofoil underneath the headlight which covered up the steering damper and the horn. I don't know why they put the horn in that position. It looks really crazy. Most people have relocated that. On the headlights, I quite like the eyebrows. It takes some getting used to. At first when I bought my MT10 SP I didn't like the headlight arrangement at the front, but I've got used to it over the years. So the introduction of the speed control, so you can set a speed, say if you're going on motorways through a 50 limit, is good. The downside for me is on the side of the bike. If you look clearly here, you can see that they've actually left the side panels off that used to be on the current version. And to me that's it's scrimping and saving a little bit. The frame is the same. The holes are even in the frame to screw on the side panels. I wish they'd have kept those. And also I noticed on the SP version, on the front mudguard, they've actually taken some of the blue striping off and just put Yamaha on the front of it. So again, left a couple of decals off that I think look nice on the original. So the power improvements on the new bike are welcome. 5 brake horsepower I think it is, and 1 Newton meters of torque. Now the only downside is that the bike is 2 kilos heavier. Obviously they've had to put more catalytic converters or do something in the bike. I see that they've also put titanium headers, which has reduced the weight as well. So if it had the original headers on, it must be about 5 kilos heavier. So there's something going on there with the weight, trying to get the weight down. I presume it's that they've had to put more catalytic converters in to meet Euro 5 regulations. So yeah, my final verdict on the bike, I don't dislike it. I think the additions of the electronics are very welcome, and we're lacking on the old bike a little bit. My only worry is that maybe the electronics are a bit too intrusive, and it would take a long time to find out which settings fit for you, but I'm sure you can dial them down a little bit. I did test one of the Super Naked bikes, current for 2022, a few weeks ago. I'm not going to say which one it was, but I found the electronics a little bit intrusive on that bike and held it back a little bit. It was like you were giving full gas and it was actually only giving 40% throttle. So yeah, some of the new electronics on the bike do cut the power and hold you back a little bit, and it's not a one-to-one throttle, so just bear that in mind. But yeah, hopefully when we get to the spring, I can get on one of these bikes to test ride it, and as I currently own the current version of the MT10 SP, I'd like to do a back-to-back comparison just to give my real thoughts and what I think between the two bikes. So that's about it. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, then hit that subscribe button, ding that bell for future videos coming up, and I'll catch you on another video, guys. Cheers.